Hello everyone and welcome back to Forge Academy. This is another video from our free course for AutoCAD. Today we are going through the Modify tab and we'll learn few commands, the move, rotate, the copy, the mirror, the stretch and also the scale command from AutoCAD. We already know how to draw any shapes, the lines, the polygon, the rectangles, and the circle from the previous videos. If you have missed that out, remember to go and watch them first because this will be very helpful. Also, remember to practice it will help you a lot in understanding how the program works. That being said, let's move out to our tutorial today. We will go through the modify panel. You have it in the home tab. So I have already drawn shapes here, a square, a circle, and a polyline. You can do this as well at the beginning of this course, or you can draw it along the way while I explain the command. Our first command will be move for today, as it says its name. Also, you can press the M key on your keyboard and will select the same command, the move one. Now AutoCAD will ask us to select the object. So you just select the object that you want to move. Then we'll ask you for a base point. This can be any point. It doesn't have to be a specific point like a end point or a middle point. I even keep my offset uh, I even keep my snap, sorry for that, off because it doesn't require to be a specific point, so it can be, let's say, in the air. Just click anywhere on your screen. So if you have ortho on, it will move only in two direction as you are already used. But if you trigger that off, the ortho mode, you can place it anywhere you like on the screen. So let's do this again. Go to M on your keyboard, type it, and you go to the move command, select the object that you want to move. Now you can turn on the snap command, use the middle point from our shape here. When the triangle shows, we have selected the middle point, and now you can specify where you want to move it. If you want to move it to have tangent to this circle, you can just move your cursor and this quadrant will show and you can click there, and now you are sure that you have here the two tangent shapes, the circle and the square. Also, you can use the move command after you select the object that you want. We require you for a base point and you can specify a distance. So this is very helpful because you can trigger on the ortho mode, and now I can specify to move it with 5 millimeters on the left because my cursor is to the left from the base point, so the rectangle have moved with 5 millimeters. Let's practice this again. Going to move command, select the object that you want to move. Also you can select multiple objects like this and you can hit the enter button. Now specify the base point. So this can be also a specific endpoint. So I can click on my line right here and then specify the distance. Let's say I want to move it with 200 millimeters and in the downside direction, so it have moved with 200 millimeters. But I can also move it related to my polyline or any other object. So let's try this out. I will use the move command. I will select my objects that I want to move, select the endpoint as the base point from the line, and the second point will be at the another endpoint of the polyline. So now I know that I have moved my objects with exactly the length of the polyline. So this is how you do the move command. The second one will be the copy. The copy, as you expected, in the same way it's asking you to select the object that you want to copy, to specify a base point. So if I'm going with my cursor over the circle, will show me the center of it because I have the snap on, and I can click on this. So now I can copy this circle in any direction that I want or any place, and will not delete the original shape that you are copying. You can also copy as many times as you want, and similar to the move command, you can copy an object from a specific point to another specific point. So I can drag the circle from the center and place it to the endpoint right here, or I can also place it to the middle points when I see the triangle. Good. So this is your third. This is another command. I will also show you the trick command that you will have to remember. So if you want to copy this with a base point without doing all this command, you can press on your keyboard the Ctrl Shift and C key. This will bring you to this point when AutoCAD is asking you to specify the base point when the object is already selected. So now you can use the shortcut on your keyboard, the Ctrl V key, to paste the object and place it anywhere you want. So let's try that again. I'm selecting an object that I want to copy. I use the Ctrl Shift C key. Let's say that I want the base point to be this quadrant right here. So now you have the object in your clipboard. I'm not in any command. I can even hit the escape button, and when I use the Ctrl V from my keyboard, the new copied shape will show up, and I can place it anywhere I need. This will be very helpful in the future, so make sure to practice this. Remember, there are two ways to copy. One is by using the copy command. Also, you can use the Ctrl C on your keyboard to copy in the clipboard any object, but this way you don't have a base point. So in order to also select a base point for your shape, you have to select it first, then again Ctrl Shift C. It's asking for the base point, and the Ctrl V will give you a copy of that shape. Okay, the third command from our for our tutorial today will be the stretch. The stretch will ask you as well to select the object that you want to stretch. This is basically for any command. So after you select that, you can hit the enter on your keyboard, and now it's asking a point, but because this one is made of with the polylines, will not be able to stretch. So I will create another shape using lines. Sorry, I did it with polylines. Okay, now I can select it, do the stretch, select one point on my lines, and then stretch it in any way you like. Again, select the point and stretch it. This is I don't think a very used command, but it may come in hand sometimes, so it's good to know this one also. Okay, let's move on now to our fourth command, which is the rotate option. So the rotate option does what it says exactly. Will rotate any of your objects. First, you have, of course, to select your object and the base point. This will be the center. You can think for this one as the center of the circle, and the shape will be rotated around it. So I have choose as a base point this corner, and the shape is rotated around it. In the future videos, I will also show you how to use these commands with a reference. So this will be about our next tutorial. For now, we can also learn the mirror command here. The mirror command in does as it say, instead of copy, it can mirror your object, but you need a mirror line, let's say, because the first time it's asking you for a mirror point, then it's asking you for a second point. So if I'm doing this, we'll mirror the square down here, and will also ask if I want to erase the source object or not. If I do the yes, of course, we'll delete the first square that I mirrored. If I click no, it will keep both objects. So let's do that again, mirror, and I can also mirror it from its own line. I have deleted the source. Let's do one more time. Select the first point on the mirror line and the second point, and I don't want to delete the objects. Of course, in the same way, you can select multiple objects and mirror them by any lines you like. If you want to be more easy, you can create a line with ortho. This way, you know this is also a vertical, and you can mirror a shape based on this line. And if you draw lines when you mirror the object, you can think of them like a real mirror. So each object is on the side and the back side of the mirror. So this it's easier for you to remember this mirror command. And this brings us to our last command for today, scale command. Of course, it will ask you to select an object and also a base point of it. And now we'll scale your object. As you can already see on the screen, we'll increase or decrease the size of it. So we can do this by clicking on the screen. Of course, in the same way, you can deactivate the ortho mode, and it will increase or decrease the size of it based on your base point that you have selected already. Or you can increase it by using the input numbers. So if I want to be it double, you can type the 2, or you can also reduce the size for anything below 1. So you can think like 0.5 as half of its original size. So as you can see, when you type 0.5, it reduces it to the half. And same, we can go even further if you want to be 10 times smaller. So you can just type 0.1 and it's 10 times smaller, and it also works in reverse. If you want to increase its size by 10 times, you just type 10 and it will increase back 10 to the original size in our case, or by 10 using the scale. In the next video, I will show you how to use the modify commands based on a reference point or line or angle, and how to use the reference for all those commands from modify panel that you have learned today. So make sure to practice this before watching the next video. Also hit subscribe and like if you find this helpful. And if you have any questions, as usual, make sure to write them down in the comments and I will answer every single question or show the answer in the next video if is needed. That will conclude our video for today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.